Alright, well hello there again friends. Welcome back to the channel. Grab your cup of coffee, or in this case your black cherry drink, because I'm Paulie, and this is Paulie's Power Hour. Of course, the first video of the new year has to have a technical difficulty. For some reason, my camera didn't record audio, so I'm just going to speed through this and tell you we're putting gauges in my dad's 73 Camaro. We're going to put them in the dash, where the heater controls used to be, and the audio worked everything out for everything else except for this clip, of course. So let's just fast forward through this, get to the action. Alright, so that's the plan. We're going to trim this, and then use these holes here and here. Make a plate. Plate's going to go here. Gauges are going to go here and here. Wire it in. Bob's your uncle. Hard to see, but we were tracing the lines of this onto the sheet of aluminum here, and then we're just going to make sure all our lines are good. Cut this thing out, zip, and bend it, and have a good time. So this is what we ended up doing. Because it looks a little not that great right down here, we're going to have this at an angle, and it's also going to help with visibility because the gauges are going to be pointed kind of up towards you instead of straight. So I think that'll look nice once it's cleaned up and installed. Alright, so this is what the gauges look like inside. Let me turn the light down a little bit. Alright, this is what the gauges are going to look like. Cool. And then I've been wiring, so I'm tying ground to ground. I'm going to have a ground wire to the column and positive to positive. This can go to the fuse box via a fuse. I'm using a glass fuse because all the glass fuses all the fuses on the Camaro are glass, and we want to keep things kind of original. The heater controls where this used to go has a light bulb provision, so we are going to wire these up and then just snip the wire and use the light bulb that's in there. Alright, so these are actually ambidextrous. It doesn't really matter where the power and the ground go in. We just verified that with my power probe. So what I am going to do is I'm going to make a nice little harness, just like I did for the positive and ground feeds. And then of course, we're going to have to run the sender for the oil pressure gauge. That's going to be separate. So what I like to do is, typically when you get these, alright, they got these stupid little plastic things on here. Then I hate these. I like to use heat shrink. So what I like to do is grab my pliers, kind of hold that like that, grab this. You don't want to grab on the middle part, you want to grab on the end here, the crimp part. And if you just kind of gently work it back and forth, it'll let go, and now you're left with this. Take your strippers, strip it. Always, always, always make sure you put your heat shrink on first. You take your crimpers, slide your heat shrink over. And you shrink it. So here's the fun part, is we got to figure out where we're going to pass this wire through the engine bay. Yep, here it comes. Alright, this is the wire that's going to be for the sender. You got it? Okay, I'll leave that like that. Alright, so I ran the wire up behind here, and it goes to the G terminal on the sender, which Pop's installed earlier. So actually, if you want, go ahead and pull the slack out of the inside of the... Yeah. Keep going, keep going. And... stop. There we go. Alright, back inside the car. That should be all we need to do out here. So, the stock heater controls are never going to work again because whoever had this ripped out all of that stuff. Alright, never going to work again. Which is the same boat I'm in with the Malibu. So, we're going to take the illumination off this for the illumination of the gauges. And then, so that way when he turns the key on, instead of lighting up heater controls that don't work, it'll light up gauges that do work. And then this is power. This is ground, which is going to go up to one of these bolts here. And then this blue wire that just came through, we're going to loom in with the rest of this stuff here. And that is going to be G, gauge, whatever you want to call it. And then when it's all said and done, these will be right here. Alright, here's the part where we test the gauges. Turn the key on, air voltage. Here we have oil pressure for days, volts for days. Lights work. And it died. Alright, we can put it back together. Alright. And you can see I tied all the wiring together. It's all nice and loomed. And you can come out to here with it, so Pops needs to work on it or do anything to it, he can at least pull it out to here and not have to worry about ripping any wires off the connectors. Well, here we go. They are all installed. I kind of cleaned up the wiring under here and loomed everything. And very period correct, I think. And they work, as you saw, so there's that. And you can see them while sitting in the car. You can see them while you're driving. I've now got the camera right next to my head, so you can look through here and you can see while you're driving. It's very nice. I like the way these turned out. So that wraps up this project. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. And you guys keep it between the dishes and you come back and see me.